Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 21 January 2024, coming to you with the second in a series of annual videos. I did one a couple days ago on the state of the knife market, primarily talking about the secondary market or the used market. I generally do a most carried of the year video every year, but I'm not doing that this year because, as some of you know, if you watch this channel a lot, I did a serious culling of my collection last year due to some motorcycle-related expenditures and out of a desire to kind of keep the stuff I really loved and then rebuild anew. So the cull is complete, the rebuilding has started, and the bills are paid. So this year I'm not doing a most carried of 2023. I'm doing a series of State of the Collection videos. This is going to be the first one. As you can see, it's going to talk about modern folders. So let's get the first shot eye candy out of the way, and let's get into them. My collection as it stands today consists of 6 manufacturers, just 6. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to start with one that will not surprise most of you. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know that I love Benchmade, so we're going to do Benchmade first. And we're going to start with the longest serving Benchmade knife in my collection. It is this one, the classic, the icon, the Benchmade 940 Osborne. This is a knife I think I purchased about 2012, maybe 2013. It is an S30V version, and I sent this to Benchmade after I bought it and had them put my channel name on my show side because I'm a lefty. So it says TheApostleP on the blade. It's got the green aluminum handle. It's got the purple titanium backspacer. I did swap out the original clip, which was a painted Emerson, to a Parkerized split arrow. It is just my favorite pocket knife of all time. So slim in the pocket. Such a long, usable blade for a knife of its size. Squared away mechanics, beautiful ergonomics, great cutting performance. Love the 940. Never selling that one. Next up, speaking of 940 Osbornes, we have the Blade HQ exclusive Jade G10 handled 940 with the black Cerakoted blade in CPM M4. I bought this knife because I love M4, and I kind of wanted to keep my OG pretty nice over the years. So this is my beater, and I love it. Next up, one I ordered brand new from Benchmade's custom shop, the Mini Crooked River with the 20 CV blade and the updated with my graphic channel name, TheApostleP. Wearing the tan smooth G10, the natural but still hard anodized aluminum bolsters, polished split arrow clip, blue hard anodized aluminum pivot collars, and blue backspacer. A great EDC size, much more usable every day in my mind than the full-size Crooked River. That's why I bought a custom one just for me. Next up, this might have been my last purchase from Knife Ship Free and Derek Bone before his passing. This is the 781 Anthem, a very significant knife in Benchmade history. First of all, it has an integral titanium handle. Second of all, it has a ball bearing pivot. Third, it's got an axis lock, but if you look inside, you will see that it's not your average axis lock. I call it the cartridge style axis lock with the full-length guide rod and the coil spring instead of Omegas, and it fastens to the spine of the handle with those 2 Torx head screws, and it's a work of art. I don't think Warren Osborne had a hand in the design, but the blade shape looks like a broader, more robust, slicier 943 blade. Fully milled titanium clip. I did not buy a first production knife because, dirty little secret, the first production knives had a pretty good mismatch in the color of the anodizing from clip to handle. So I kind of waited until they got that sorted out, and they did. And I love this knife. Next Benchmade in the stable, you guys know what it is. It's the 560 BK-1 Super Freak. Not the first M4 Freak Benchmade did. Those of you who have been watching my sales saw the original. It was a jade-handled, gray Cerakoted 560 BK-1801, which I liked from a materials and mechanics standpoint, but I didn't love the coloring. Then they did this. It's kind of the freak that I always wanted, and they did it. Yes, black Cerakoted CPM M4, black and gray, layered G10, milled to reveal the layers, red liners, red standoffs, parkerized split arrow. My favorite large knife to carry. Just love it. Next from Benchmade, this is my crash knife. It's my 535, what is it, GRY-1 bug out. So it came with the Ranger green FRN scales, gold studs and standoffs, gray Cerakoted blade. And look, guys, you guys know that I just bought a clip for this, or had them send me a clip for free, because this was the only casualty in the crash. I was working on the car the other day and rolled across the concrete and put a nick right in the corner of the clip. Ah, well, this knife ain't no virgin. I love it. That's a never sell. And then the last Benchmade in my collection is the 4300 CLA. Black, 3D machined, sort of melted G10, satin finished. Open pillar construction, parkerized deep carry clip, button lock auto with safety, 154 CM blade, beautiful drop spear kind of thing. So slim, so effective. A great switchblade for EDC is the CLA, and I love it. Now we move to Spyderco. I have a few more Spydercos than I have Benchmades. The first one is my baby, the Spyderco Gail Bradley folder. Now this knife obviously didn't come with these scales. It came with the carbon fiber over G10 laminate scales, but when I went to Bark River to do my first grind in and made my 1909 Bowie with the Desert Ironwood burl coffin handle, I had a remnant of the wood, and I sent it off to Steve Ketchen, and he did these beautiful red linered scales for me, and I love them. You've got the Gail Bradley shape blade in CPM M4. I think I've recently sharpened this because it is sticky, savagely sharp. Heavy liner lock in stainless steel with polished edges. Mine's got a little pocket wear showing in the polish because it's old. They are bank vault constructed. If you try to take these apart, it's like taking the side panel off your Smith & Wesson revolver. Everything fits very tightly, very tightly. It takes a little pop. Superb knife, and I love it. This is not a novice knife if you look at the ergonomics. This is an experienced pocket knife lover's pocket knife, right? Love the Gail Bradley. Next up, a Spyderco that I bought at a Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous from my buddy Logan. Stout. It is the Native Chief in burnt orange G10 and a blade in CPM Rex 45. I've had this knife, gosh, 4 years maybe. I've used it significantly. I have never touched the edge. I think I've stropped it, and it is still extremely sharp. Nobody does a factory edge like Spyderco. Absolutely my favorite 4-inch class folder. Superb ergonomics, great blade steel, super slicey, bank vault construction, a midlock from Golden. Love the Chief. Next up, the only paramilitary tool in my collection It is a Collector's Club Parat 2 with a blade of CPM M4 and the Peel Ply carbon fiber handle. And it's kind of gummy. I need to ungum it. It's been sitting a while. I don't think I've carried it enough. Anyway, that's a never sell. You betcha. Next up, this one isn't a knife that I set out to own. This is the Masad IU folder from Spyderco. Interesting knife. Seki City made, satin finished, and then black hard anodized aluminum scales. Got that sort of polished PVD clip with the yellow bug. Midlock with the boy dent. Aluminum liners, but hafted. Very cool. It's like they must haft them and then take the scales off and anodize them. Very cool knife. And a very interesting blade shape. As Mass wants it. Full spider edge, VG10, Seki City made, sexy, deadly, love it. The Masad IU folder. Next, kind of in the same vein, it's the OG Police, sort of. Stainless steel handles, but a later generation with the 4-way clip. Polished clip, midlock with boy dent. And I just love the stainless steel Police blade because you get that low saber hollow, you get that gorgeous swedge, you get the Police etch. Solid as a rock and super smooth. What a great knife. Every Spyderco collector should have one. I'm just saying. Next up, speaking of Mr. Bradley, I have some history with this model. It is the Spyderco Advocate. This is a CQI model, right? Continuous quality improvement. When I reviewed the original Gail Bradley Advocate, I destroyed it. I thought it was a great design, and I thought Spyderco executed it horribly. The ball bearings were too small. The backing washers folded up like a cheap suit. The action sucked. What'd they do? Well, I wasn't the only one. Lots of people complained. They went to much larger ball bearings. They went to thicker Blanchard ground backing washers. They squared away the knife. It's a thing of beauty. Blade is CPM M4. Gorgeous orange peel titanium. Polished edges on the handle scales. It's just a superb knife. You can sneak forward if you want. It's basically a one-to-one of this model as a custom Gail Bradley, but this one has a hole. Great, great, great knife. Next up, we have sisters. Hap 40 blades and Packwood scales, a Delica and an Andella. I used to have all three. I had the Endura. I sold the Endura because I just didn't carry it much. It was one of my Coles. So both of them basically the same knife but in different sizes. Hap 40 Japanese powdered tool steel clad in SUS 410. I'll show you on the Delica. When you use these knives, you're going to get some scratches in the SUS 410 cladding. There's nothing you can do about it except refinish them if you want. But you've got a midlock with a boy dent, fully hafted, fully lined. Great knife. I love the Packwood just because it looks and feels so warm in the hand. I would suggest this. If you're going to buy one of the wire clip models, don't get it in wood because the Packwood will chip out. So will the Bird's Eye Maple and a Chapparal, by the way. But if you get a regular Spidey clip, it's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. The Andella and the Delica. Next, we have another pair of sisters. These are Chapparals. And I think these are my 5th and 6th Chapparal. This is one I had to replace because I gave one to a buddy. This is the FRN, or the lightweight. Under 3-inch blade length. Full flat ground blade. Less than 3/32 thick. Super slicey. Super thin in every way. Midlock design made in Taichung. So now we have midlocks from 3 different countries in the collection. So this is kind of my beater Chappie. And then I've always wanted one of these. I called Josh, or messaged him on Facebook from Knife Ship Free after the first of the year and said, you know what, I see you've got a few of these left. Can you send me one? And he did. It's called the Sun and Moon. So if it's set up for left-hand carry like me, the show side is the Rising Sun, which is interesting. You'd think they would make this knife in Seki City, but no. It's a Taichung knife with the Japanese flag on the show side and then the moon on the back. Black G10, seamlessly hafted mother of pearl moon, and same with the red G10 on this side. You can't feel the transitions at all. A lovely knife in a lovely colorway. I just dig it, both of those. Okay, that's it for Spyderco. Time to move to the third brand represented in my collection. This will not surprise anybody. It's from ZT. It is the Ernest Emerson designed ZT0640. So it is part Gentleman Jim, that's the blade. And then the handle, was it the Viper? I should have looked it up before I started recording, but I didn't. An old Emerson model that was made by Benchmade back before Emerson started making their own knives, had this handle shape. Benchmade promptly stole the handle shape and put it on the 710 McHenry & Williams. Okay, so Benchmade was the original manufacturer for Emerson knives. They stole Ernie's handle. And then we come to ZT making a production line of Emerson design knives, and they used that old handle and the Gentleman Jim blade and came up with the 640, and it's an awesome knife. Titanium frame lock with green and black carbon fiber scales, revealed titanium slabs, phosphor bronze washer pivot, and unbelievably beautiful action. Silky smooth, super sweet, rock solid, no lockup, no play in the lock whatsoever. Beautiful centering, beautifully made knife, great design. I liked it so much that I hated the ZT clip, and I thought, you know, Benchmade needs to represent on this knife, so we're using one of their Parkerized deep carry clips, and it works great, and it looks great. Love that knife. That's my only ZT. And that brings us to manufacturer number 4, who is Protek. I love the TR knives from Protek. James Yeager Tactical Response. This is a TR3 that I snagged out of a weekly knife sale, and it's beautiful. About a 3 1/8 inch blade, beautifully fluted, black hard anodized handle, long clip, and it's a lefty, if I didn't mention that. Yeah. 154 cm blade, satin flats, stonewash bevels, and swedge. And this has a factory edge on it, and I have not felt the need to sharpen it. Good job, Protek. Great, great pocket knife. And that's my only Protek. There'll be more. Next, the 5th manufacturer represented in my stable is Cold Steel, and this is my only Cold Steel. And this is my go bag knife, so I rarely carry it in my pocket, but it's always with me. It is the 2nd generation Recon 1. So this is post Ultralock, which was a pre-patent expiration ripoff of the Benchmade Axis lock, and the knife was kind of goofy. But when the Triad lock came along, we got this knife, and it is an absolute masterpiece. The old Osate blade that came with the black Teflon paint coating that I easily scraped off with the help of a little zip strip. Great Triad lock mechanism. This lock is rock solid, and it has batoned campfire wood. It's just an awesome knife. Did a little sanding of the coarse G10 underneath the clip, the coating on which I also removed. Look at that. Perfect centering. Perfect lockup. And pretty free drop in action for a knife that sits most of its life. I love it, and I'll never sell it. The Clip Point Recon 1. And that brings us to the 6th and final manufacturer in my collection. And of course, it's Chris Reeve. I used to have 7, I now have 3. They're all Sebenza 21s, and they're all large, and they all have clip point blades. Yes, they're clip points, not drop points. I'll show you why. if you look very carefully, right there is absolutely a clip. There's a peak right there. Just saying. Call it what you want. But this is my Wilson Combat Star Benza, which was a gift from a subscriber. A gift some years ago. I treasure it. I will never let it go. It gets some pocket time. It's got some snail trails. It's got Apostle P tuned action. It rocks. And I'll never sell it. The second, another large 21 clip drop, black micarta inlays. This one's been used a little. Again, beautiful action as tuned by me. I love it. And the last one, and the last knife in this video is, we call her Rose. This is a large 21 premium wood inlay from, I believe, 2014. I ordered this knife from Chris Reeve, and I ordered it, I think, in September. And I knew exactly what I wanted, polished blade, box elder burl. The lady on the phone asked me, what would you like your inlays to look like? And I said, you know, they don't need to be dramatic, but not bland either. So just pick out something nice for me. She told me the knife would be ready the next June. I got a call a week before Christmas to tell me my knife was ready and she was ready for my credit card payment. So like 3 days before Christmas this arrived, and I actually cried when I looked at it. I think I had been a follower of Christ for a little over 5 years when this came in the mail. And I looked at this burl and I was deeply touched. It goes from dark to light by the blood of Christ. Just like me. So Rose and I will live our lives together. Our entire lives. It gets carried during holidays, the Christmas season, and Resurrection Sunday, Passion Week. And that's about it. I've never sharpened it. I've stropped it a little. I adore it. And that's it. That's my collection, guys. Not too many knives, but ready for some more. That is all for this one. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. I think the next one will be traditional pocket knives. Look for that one soon. Talk to you later.